Keep on stepping till you reach higher ground. Ain't nobody turn you around. Step on up, you can clear the higher star. Straight ahead, it's not very far. Yeah. Keep on. With the strength of your mind, you can be set free. You can overcome your past. Search deep inside, and you will see. Time has come at try. Don't stop reaching till you touch the sky. Life has many ups and downs. Put your feet on solid ground. Keep on, keep on, keep it on. Keep on.
for the team. Took a bullet for the dream that we would one day all be free. Free from prejudice, free from sexism, free from bigotry. I die for creativity. Yeah. I die for freedom to be free. I got it as a legacy. Oh, but baby, I still live through technology. The sun will start shining. What is the pain? And tears of pain. And tears of pain. And just be patient. Your destiny will manifest. Yes, oh, goodness.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Hello, 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 hello. I hope that you all are doing well on this Tuesday evening, okay? This is probably, I don't know, the past few commentary videos that I've given, besides the one about the pussy, that one, were commentaries in which I was able to elaborate on some of the gray areas that certain content creators have been speaking about. First of all, I'm glad that people are willing to talk their thoughts and their emotions out. That is what I want everyone to do, so we can all objectively understand where everyone stands. Because that will help us better in reference to community building and tapping into humanity. So whenever there are individuals, despite whether we agree or disagree on certain things, I appreciate when there is the humanitarian aspect there, okay? That is universal, that transcends and crosses any boundaries of religion, boundaries of sexuality, boundaries of gender expression. Like, we're talking about life. There are lots of things that we are not going to learn. We're not going to be able to learn everything in this one lifetime. Okay, so when there are opportunities where people kind of open up or begin to start the process of opening up Pandora's box, it's like, are y'all ready to have that conversation? Now, for those of you who have been following me for a while, I have been giving commentary on the individual on the screen here, BubzDaGawd. Shout out to him, because there's no hateration or holleration in this dancery. We do call out hypocritical stuff, though. And we're not here for warfare, okay? At least over here on BubzDaGawd. What I'm here for is understanding, but also challenging things as well. Okay? Now, for the past few uploads from BubzDaGawd, we have gotten more of a, I guess, human-esque type of awareness that I felt like it was money that caused the problem for that. And that's unfortunately what happens to a lot of people in this world when they don't have resources to things that can better their life. And unfortunately in America, we need money to survive, even though we paying for shit and we human. We came here free. We gonna die free. I mean, damn. But now that he's been able to receive the blessings of the Lord, girl, through the realms of finances, through the realms of coin, okay? Now there isn't a lot of, I guess, animosity, and that's cool. I'm grateful for that. because I feel like we all want to be able to get to a place where we can be financially secure and financially comfortable. Not just live life to fucking work, but to work so that we'll have the opportunity to live as well. Right? But now that he has got the money, he's able to chill a little bit. And these past few lives, he's kind of been delving. It's kind of like he's found his salvation and freedom through religion, which I'm okay with that, because there are some people who are going to find freedom and salvation through Christ or the religious interpretation of Christ, right? But that's not the only way to freedom and liberation that is also healthy. And even though, again, Ron found his freedom through religion, right? He still understands that he is human. And in this live we're going to be using tonight, he speaks on duality. And I don't really hear a lot of Christian people speak on duality. And I'm grateful that we're now speaking about duality, because that's where the community building can start. That's where the fears can be dissolved. And the objective truth will shine that doesn't give a damn about what you believe or what you want to believe. It is what it is, right? So in this commentary, we're going to see him explain his expression of duality, but also through the lens of Christianity. So we have to take that into account as well. But just because it's expressed through Christianity does not mean there's not a message there. And we have to be honest, because of Christianity at large, the organized religion who used their information and their knowledge and the people lacking in that knowledge to literally make a business off of their life, to where they're being told, if you want your salvation to be within arm's reach, you got to make sure that you come running with $19.95. Like there's some sort of financial transaction. But when we look at the scriptures in the Bible and it talks about Christ, Christ was always giving and giving and giving and giving from the overflow. He even challenged those who were wealthy to take their money and to also give it to the people. So religion at large has hurt a lot of people, and there is a lot of blood on the hands of organized religion. And even though we can forgive that for ourselves, we're not going to forget it so that it doesn't happen again. And we see that, unfortunately, it's starting to happen again. But there are some people in Christianity who, again, like Ron is going to share in this video, have a basic general understanding of duality, and now they've created an opportunity, in reference to my commentary, to like go down that rabbit hole of duality and to find the gray area. Because again, I've been able to have the privilege to have conversations, a few of them, with Ron Vugada in private, and we're supposed to be doing another live, a part 2 of our conversation, which I think with this Ron here, it would be very interesting to have a actual conversation with publicly. Because if anything, I feel like it can, how can I say this? It's two people who are attempting to find leadership in themselves or to find their own self-agency, and to have conversations with other people who have also found their self-agency despite what they believe, and come together to show the rest of the world that that is actually something that's possible. You just have to put in the fucking work. And are you willing to put in the goddamn work? Okay? So before we get into this commentary, which this is probably going to be a lengthy one, y'all. I'm smoking on something real good. Shout out to the Dragonfly, okay? I got this pre-roll. It's called Guava Ghost. And baby, this shit is not ghosting on my spirit or soul, okay? Can we get a gospel? Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Risi Alamanda, ribi, ha ha ha.
Okay. Before we get into that, let's get into this. Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use. for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Ha ha ha. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips the balance in favor of fair use. So, with that being said, let us get into Ron's commentary about duality and our further context and nuance to help establish the gray area. And these are the conversations I enjoy, the stuff that actually can possibly make a change for real, for real. I mean, goddamn it, we gotta fucking try and continue to try until something works. That's what we do. Okay? Let's get it.
What's up, everyone? So, haven't live streamed in a while, a long while, but here I am. I know that a lot of you may be at work because there's a lot of hardworking people who watch my content by the grace of God. But I want to talk about something that I think people need to know. There is this thing against Christians. Like, okay, so I came out like a year ago as a Christian conservative Republican, blah blah blah. Now, in this whole year, I'm proud of my religion, my faith, how I vote politically. I'm proud of all of that. I have no regrets.
Right.
But when I think about the things that I typically talk about with people when I'm talking about religion, or when I'm talking about like being a Republican and things like that, one thing I noticed about myself, why I was able to progress so fast and progress so strong in this life, again, thank you to Jesus Christ, is because I understand something called duality. And this is a life lesson that I just spilled some juice on myself. This is a life lesson that I never really knew. I never really could fathom that I knew the sense of spiritual duality. Hold on. I don't have an adapter for my microphone, so if I don't sound as clear as I normally would, that's why. But nonetheless, hey everyone that's coming in. Hope everyone is doing great. But yeah, spiritual duality. So there's this thing where I've always understood in my mind that as good of a person as I am, I'm also very evil. I also know that as equally as I can make great decisions, I am just as powerful in my own will in my mind to make just as horrible decisions.
What's up, Queen Amber? What's going on? Hope all is
what
well.
am I saying all this to say? I'm saying all this to say that the stigma behind Christianity and how Christians are like hypocrites and things like that, there are a lot of things that I do in my personal life that a lot of people may think is sinful. A lot of people may say is demonic, but here's the thing, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And that is the message of what
Now, hold on. Now, when he said that, it kind of shook me for a second because it's like, whoa, this is not the Christian answer that I would have expected. Because unfortunately, a lot of Christianity, not all, but a lot of Christianity is fueled by fear. Not because, oh, there's a great, wonderful, loving God who has given unto me. Not that they're really truly grateful of that. It's the fact that, girl, they don't want to go to hell. To where we've mastered the illusion of looking like we have everything together. Now, I do appreciate Ron being able to be honest in what he's saying, because a lot of Christians are afraid to speak in that way, to be all the way honest about their life, because if they were to do that, according to the church's standards, they would have to be set down. So if we were to actually play the game for real, when it comes down to the Bible and morality, then everybody's on a slope fall to hell in some way, form, or fashion. Nobody's getting into heaven. But that's the fear-based, ignorant part that organized religion is playing on the people who subscribe to it. Now, there are those within organized religion who do operate in what I consider to be the true authentic body of Christ or love. Even though I am a human being, which means that my Christianity, my title, is not going to exempt me from life's trials and tribulations. If anything, it just means that I'm aware of that. And because I'm aware of that, I have the ability to control my own thoughts and my own emotions behind that. But they're not teaching that in organized religion. They're teaching you that in order for you to truly be genuinely connected to God, you have to be a multi-millionaire. You have to be about the nuclear family, when there are some people who don't want to be married. There are some people who get married who don't want to have kids, to be able to have the freedom to be able to live their life how they want to. But there is this rigid type of way that people have to go. And if there are people who are queer, or people who do walk in their self-agency, who know who they are, as Ron will share later on in the video, the church doesn't acknowledge them in their true individuality, to walk in their truth and to say, you know what, we honor you, we accept you. No, it's demonized. It's demonized. So the fact that Ron was able to be honest in this way, because even in some of the private conversations I had with Ron, I'm like, bro, you need to be talking like this publicly. This is how you authenticate your story. This is how you actually impact people. Because when I tell you, if people were to start walking in the level of honesty that Ron walked in this particular live, things would probably be much better. Which is why I would give certain people grace and mercy when they start tapping into grace and mercy. Because he's going to share something that was kind of like, oh, wow, it makes sense. But the fact that you're willing to be honest, I can't really go in on you for real, for real. I'm going to give you a little heat, because with great power comes great responsibility. And some of the things that you have said in the attempt to look this part or act this part, even though behind closed doors you felt completely different, that's also dangerous to a lot of people in the world. I literally just did a live about a few days, close to a week ago, about a trans woman who was attacked. I just had a conversation with one of my sisters who's of trans experience, who lives down south, had a transphobic situation happen to her, and she had to motherfucking swallow that motherfucking tough ass pill and take that L, even though it wasn't her fault. So when we get on public platforms and we speak, if we really are trying to genuinely help people, we have to be very conscious about what we say. Because a lot of the things that Ron said, even when he came onto my live and he just came out the door swinging, I'm like, oh Lord, I'm trying to figure out, I'm the one stressed the hell out, because how am I going to sit here and try to humanize this conversation when I have people literally DMing me telling me, turn the live off now. But now we're getting the real Ron. And this is the Ron that we want. Now, in a sense, no shade, I have to be honest. When people were saying you were a grifter, I guess in the sense of, if you were trying to make money off of this, you kind of did, because this whole outlet and you sharing yourself and you going back and forth with those people was God's Source Universe's way of working mysteriously to grant you with what you really wanted, which was financial stability and financial freedom. And that's something all of us want. I'm even striving for financial stability and freedom in my own life. But now that you got it, I'm grateful that you have a more objective and are being more open-minded about what you think about certain things. But we also not gonna skip past the stuff that you say and just act like it really didn't hurt people when it did hurt people objectively, and you wonder why they came back at you. So again, this is going to be a very 360 type of outlook and perspective in reference to this commentary, because I'm going to give people who are putting in the work despite their differences being different from mine. I mean, their opinions being different from mine, perspectives being different from mine. When people can still honor themselves, but also learn how to honor other people's experiences, I will always highlight that. I did the same thing with TTP, Miss Tough Topics podcast. When I did my commentary, she watched and listened to my entire commentary. She challenged certain things and I responded back to her. But even though we have a difference of opinion, she was still able to see the humanity in me. And that's the most important thing, is for you to honor people's humanity, especially if they're not hurting themselves or hurting you. But some of the stuff you said, Ron, no shade, especially in reference to trans people, trans women to be exact, was very damaging. Because the political party that you affiliate with right now, and not even that, just on both sides of the damn bird, both sides of the wing, all right? But on the Republican wing, they're openly discriminating against trans women. They're conflating drag queens with trans women. They're messing up the whole thing because they're not ignorant. I mean, they're not educated. They're ignorant, excuse me. Meaning they just don't know. And some motherfuckers just don't want to know. And those are the individuals who will always get the smoke. But their lives are in danger. Just simply existing is dangerous for them. Again, I just had a conversation. I'm going to try to get her for a part 2. Where she can come up and share her experience about how she still deals with transphobia. She can't even say hi to motherfuckers without motherfuckers feeling some type of way about it. That they're trying to push their transness. It's like, wow, I can't even be a human being. So for a lot of trans women, this stuff is real, especially trans women of color. So anyway, let's continue.
I'm trying to tell you guys, there is no one on this earth who can really put a definition of what is moral and not moral. All we have are our opinions and our beliefs. Okay. Now, really? I have came on my channel before to say that, you know, transgenders are like mental illness. They're not really women. There's a gay agenda, things like that. And here's the thing, I still believe in all of that. I've always have believed in those things. I'm my own person, I have my own brain.
Right.
Does that make transgenders and all LGBTs, including myself, bad people because of my own personal beliefs on the gay agenda and things like that? No, because my moral compass is that, well, people can live their life as long as they're not intentionally hurting the next person or someone in their environment, spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever.
Okay, so if that is the case, then in the video that you did that got taken down, that you can listen to in its entirety on my channel, okay, you spoke about trans people as if though they weren't human. You used the clause of my religious freedoms and my belief to where I'm not going to hire a transgender person. I'm not going to not hire them because, again, their work ethic is trash. You call their previous employers and they're telling you they're a bat straight out of hell. Any of that. What you did is that you said you wouldn't hire them simply on the grounds of them being trans because they're mentally ill. So I guess my question next would be, what happened recently that brought you to that perspective of, oh, well, not all. When I say the gay agenda, I'm not talking about all of us, but nobody on the left or the right, and especially in organized religion, they're not trying to figure out who the other people are who are these quote unquote extremists. So even the people who saying, oh, it's not everybody, y'all not even picking out the ones who are actually doing the harm for real, objectively. So I guess, again, my question to you is, what happened recently that made you be like, you know what? trans people not that bad, bro. I was just tripping, bro. I don't know what's going on. I was just tripping. You know, queer people, they ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because when we started having the conversations about you being queer, because I've used that. Remember when I said to you, Ron, that if Jesus told you to give told you to give up your sexuality, if Jesus told you that I don't want you to be queer anymore and I want you to dive into all of the, I got virgin vagina right here waiting for you, nigga. It's a bunch of people in other belief systems, girl, that kill themselves to be able to fuck 99 virgins. I'm giving you one right here just to give up the dick. And you said that you probably would have said fuck Jesus, girl. Remember that? No shade. But see, I can't really be mad at that because I feel like you're getting to a place where you're starting to transcend religion, to where you don't look at God the way that organized religion has taught us to look at God. You're starting to look at God in the way that can also benefit you. And you know you're not hurting anybody. You realize that God is simply just one of its names. It's really a source of power. Because if we're going to play that game about religion, because he's going to talk about God and Satan and all that stuff, let's not forget that according to the narrative, God created Lucifer before he became Satan, correct? Let's see if I can find that scripture real quick. Hold on. It's not in my private browser. That's where the porn at. Girl, where is it at? Is it in my other phone? Where is it? Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. Oh, here it is in my private, along with the porn, Jesus. If you look at Isaiah 45:7, correct? And it's from the King James Version. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So when we transcend religion and we start to look at it from a more like student type of aspect, we realize that Satan or the adversary is simply just an individual who is meant to come into your life to bring you obstacles for you to transcend. That Satan, Lucifer, whatever you call it, doesn't have power over you unless you allow it to have power over you. Satan, Lucifer can also be looked upon as lower vibrations. Anger, jealousy, bitterness, anything that deals with lies is where that energy is at. And according to the narrative of the Bible, when Christ died on the cross for all of humanity, before Christ ascended, he descended into hell. Which means that no matter where you make your bed, no matter if you hide your head or you cover your feet, whether it be heaven or hell, love will find you. And that's why individuals who have been through a whole lot of shit in their life, who damn near was really rocking and vibrating and just all immersed in the demonic energy, still had opportunity for redemption, for their life to change, so that they can be a testament to other people that no matter how dark shit may get, there will always be a light inside of you that will never go out, even if you don't believe in it. So that when you finally do start believing in it, the light will be there, the light that never leaves nor forsakes. That's what happened when we transcend organized religion. And I feel like Ron is doing that because he's taking some of the principles from Christianity and applying it to his life, but he's not a slave to it. And I appreciate people like that because those are people who are really learning that they're students in life and they're supposed to take certain things that work for them and then leave the rest alone because everything's not going to be for everybody. That's why there's multiple religions across this planet, because one thing is not going to work for everybody as far as the belief or the ceremonies or whatever sort of cultural traditional aspects are connected to it. It's a different expression, but if we were to collectively honor the underlying themes that bring all of us back to source, that is where we need to focus at. So he's going to speak about how there are some people in Christianity who are hypocritical. Because again, he subscribes to the narrative of Christ and freedom along with money, which ain't nothing wrong with that, because there's supposed to be some sort of prosperity there as well. But it's not just financial prosperity either. The real prosperity is the inward prosperity, the energy prosperity, so that no matter where you are in life, because money come and go too, that I will still be okay. That I have the power to connect to God, source universe, whenever I want and whenever I desire. And I don't need an intercessor for me. Because first of all, I'm not in the fucking hospital fucked up. So I'm in control of my own life and my own experiences. Okay, so anyway, let's continue deeper, because again, this, and I even left a comment underneath the video saying that this is the most honest that I've seen you been publicly, or see you be publicly. So I hope that we continue to get this Ron, because this is the Ron that I think is going to help make a change and create a legacy that is going to be genuinely beneficial for as many people as possible.
Now, when I say that Jesus owns the world, but Satan spins the wheel, we cannot be ignorant in this world and believe that the devil does not exist. I think that the Christians who walk around this world and who walk around in life, or let's take the label of Christian off, the people who are so-called good people, empaths, things like that, all of those kinds of people, if you meet someone who says that their life is perfect, you know, life is in general is perfect, there is no wrong, everything is great, those are dangerous people. And people may see what I'm talking about and inherently try to make it this out to be that I'm trying to say, oh, except Satan, except the devil. No, what I'm saying is you can't have good without the bad. You can't have Jesus without Satan. You can't have, it's duality. It's duality. And one reason why I'm so confident and so sure in myself is because I understand duality. I understand that on one side of my shoulders, there's an angel who is always guiding me and telling me the right things I should do. There's a intuition in my heart and in my mind that I request from Jesus Christ, which is why I'm able to make the decisions that I make. But just because I have that key gateway access to Jesus Christ, our Heavenly Father, our Lord and Savior, it does not mean that Satan is not equally, it does not mean that Satan isn't equally, isn't trying as hard as Jesus to get my soul. Now,
I kind of want to say this real quick. In reference to that, I can understand what you mean. The way that I interpret it is the fact that when you're connected to God's source universe, that power is neutral. Creation and destruction are both the yin and yang of life. And if we tap into the opportunities that give us access to that power, it's about our intent. Just like there are a lot of people in the world who are multimillionaires, who are financially free, who also utilize their financial freedom from a level of overflow to share with the world. They'll donate to certain charities, right? They'll they'll be more on their humanitarian work. They'll use their resources of what they've been able to manifest because of their connection, right? Of their connection, to share with other people, to give them the opportunity to do the same thing. But there are also other people who have millions of dollars as well, who use that money to flaunt their power and to show everybody how connected to God they are. They don't teach them, like, look at organized religion in the church. How there's so many people who give their last to the church while all these pastors have mega mansions and boats and airfare and all this stuff, but yet the crime rate around your church, your tabernacle, your cathedral is sky high. What is really going on? And if you're gonna really keep it a bean, if you're trying to say you're a Christian, then you need to be following in the flow of Christ, which means that Christ's ass live a very lowly life. Even though his energy was royal and it was unlimited, okay, and it was powerful, the way that he expressed it was as the common man. Even the way he came into this world was in some hood trap ass type shit. No shade. Christ was always about the loving the less fortunate and giving unto the less fortunate and standing up for those who didn't have the power to stand up for themselves because of how they was raised, or better yet, how they had to survive life and not have anyone really affirm them. And like it shows on the screen, in a sense, his analogy is right. When you have power, you now have choices. And now it's about, where does your heart lie? Where do your emotions lie? And a lot of men, and even some gay men and women, but a lot of men have been taught to turn their emotions off, as opposed to being aware of their emotions, challenging the ones that don't serve them, and then honoring the ones who do, or the ones that do. This duality conversation is deep. A lot of these conversations are deep, and I enjoy these conversations because even with me speaking, I'm still learning as well, because I have to apply these things into my own life. That's why I've been sacrificing certain things that I desire to have right now, because I got to make sure that I'm good. I'm trying to be given the best that I got. No Anita Baker. Well, I do want Anita Baker because she's amazing. But and for me, the way I'm looking at it is that if you can tap into humanity, no matter where you are in life, God's source universe will take care of you. And that's all Christ walked in, was love. He embraced all the sides of love, which sometimes challenging or challenge can happen in love. Reconciliation happens in love, and love can be a little tough sometimes. But the love there is real, and sometimes our egos need to be checked. But again, I appreciate this live, Ron. So let's continue.
I feel like I said a mouthful there, but I'm finna try to make it all make sense. I'm just gonna talk and try to make it all make sense. So we have people who, there are two types of people in this world. Let's say it like this: there are two types of people in this world. We have leaders and we have followers. I would consider myself a leader. I would never advise anyone to consider themselves a follower. But let's be honest, there are 100 million times more followers than there are leaders in this world. And why is that? That is because leaders know who they are. Leaders cannot be told who they are. They cannot be influenced to make decisions that do not seem right. You cannot influence a leader to, or rather you can depend on the leader to make the best decisions, the most logical decisions, the decisions that most people who are followers are not able to make because they're so engulfed in their emotions and they can't really fathom and understand how to turn off their emotions and how to turn on, let's think logically. Now, what makes a great leader, first and foremost, is someone who knows themselves. What makes a great person in this world overall, leader or follower, you have to know who you are. That's the most important advice I can give anyone in any corner of this earth, you have to know who you are, because when you know who you are, like I said earlier, you can't be influenced to do things that you don't want to do. When you know who you are, people can tell you their opinions, people can try to do things to persuade you to see things their way, but at the end of the day, because you know who you are, you stand on your own. You stand on your own beliefs. You know, most people who are leaders and know who they are do research to understand why they think the way they think, why they understand, to do the research to understand how they are, why they are the way that they are.
Yes, right. Why they are the way they are. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Leaders are individuals who study to show themselves approved. That's it. You're supposed to question everything. And I do mean everything, especially if it's in regards to you. Because not everybody is going to live the exact same way. Again, we're talking about God's source universe and its expression throughout life. It's going to be infinite, it's going to be vast, and we're always going to be learning. So we might as well accept the fact that that's what's going to be the case. Okay? It will help us out. It will help you out. It will help humanity out if we were to be aware of that. Now, you need to become a leader within yourself. I definitely agree. We all have the capacity. First of all, that's something that should be the most important thing in your life. You have to work out your own soul salvation, which means you're going to have to find a way to find your leadership contact with God's source universe. It is your job, and it's nobody's responsibility but yours. You came in this world by yourself. You're going to leave this world by yourself. You have to figure it out. But there are people in the world who their experiences inspire people to where they'll follow a certain philosophy. Because even though Ron is a leader in his own life, he follows the teachings, even though some of it is religion, but he's following an idea of Jesus Christ in which he can aspire to tap into. So even in that case, we're all going to be leaders within ourselves, which means that we have to make the choice in our own life and nobody else can. But we can follow other people who have a same like mind that is trying to acquire the same goal. And because I walk in my own leadership, in my own individuality, I might have gifts, I might have talents that the other person may not have, that they might need, and I might need theirs, so that we can manifest this. Just like how a lot of the manosphere believes that power and might alone is the most important thing when it comes to warfare, when in actuality it's not just power and might. You need the mind as well. You need strategy. You need a strategist. You also need emotional awareness, because when man comes across, I don't give a fuck how strong they are, how rich they are, the title they have to make them seem like they're a man, how many women they slept with. In the words of, I think his name is Scarface or something, I think it's Scarface, in one of his songs, the verse says, I never seen a man cry until I see a man die. So that even when these strong ass men with power and might end up in situations where they're outwitted and their morale is low, you're going to need people who can tap into their emotions, face their own fear, and inspire their teammates to also face the fear and to raise the morale. So you need the whole totality experience of humanity in order for you to really accomplish anything. And I just use war as an example for that. Okay, let's continue.
Why do they think the way that they think? And, you know, there's a certain demonicness to that leadership, because here's one thing for sure. When you're a leader, such as myself, and you're able to influence people to follow what you have to say, and to influence people overall in general, when you're a leader, you have the ability to influence. Now, with that influence comes great responsibility, because
Correct.
what exactly are you influencing the people of this world to believe in?
Mm-hmm.
I've been on my platform for like the past year, influencing everyone into Jesus Christ and Republican beliefs. Now,
I'm
I get a lot
screaming.
of pushback on my Republican beliefs, but it is what it is. That is what I believe in. I'm standing firm in who I am. And if we look around at my life and we look around at how I am now a year later, I don't think Jesus Christ is too disappointed in me. So nonetheless,
Mm. That's a Republican mindset right there. Bitch, I got money, so you know God blessing me. But when God started blessing Lil Nas X and Saucy Santana, it's not they God, it's the God of hell. Interesting.
there's a thing called duality. And because I'm a leader, I understand that there are decisions that I have to make that will influence people, whether it's around me in my personal life, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
on the internet, to my social fan base. There are decisions that I can make that will hurt people and will piss people off. And when I
Right.
think about it, I've already made those decisions. I made those decisions when I came on my platform saying that I support Donald Trump and that I'm a Republican. Think about all the people who watch my channel or who know me in real life and who are really liberal, really Democrat, and they're looking at me basically reporting, supporting a party who they believe in their heart, mind, and soul controls their life. They really believe that these Republicans are the reason why they're broke. These Republicans are the reason why they can get their fucking ass up to get a job and, make something out of themselves. They can't take a shower, clean their skin, solid ace, and have a solid interview with an employer to obtain employment. They want to say that I'm a MAGA fascist, LGBT hypocrite, which I don't get how I'm an LGBT hypocrite when I'm gay myself. Nonetheless, think about all of those people who think that now I'm truly demonic. They truly believe that I am under some spiritual white man control.
Okay, let's speak on that a little bit. That was a lot. I don't know if I remember everything, girl, because I had a point where I was going to come in, but I wanted him to talk because y'all know I can pause and stuff. Speaking about the whole demonic part in people with power, right? When people come into great power, you're right, there's a great responsibility, but a lot of people allow power to overwhelm them and to control them, because when you have money and you have power, you attract all types of people, and sometimes you attract the ones who really are not for you, but they know what to do to get that money. They know what to do to be connected to that power. Because if I'm connected to the person who has the power, which is in the title, then some of that got to fall down on me. So you have some people who will use their power and manipulate other people. We can take individuals like Jim Jones, who is a very religious individual who had this whole type of I'm about to say dystopia. It ended up being a damn dystopia, no shade, but this whole type of tranquil getaway where everybody can come together and love each other, and it will be just amazing. We'll have our own town and our own system and all this other type of shit. And look what the fuck happened. He forced all those people to drink the damn Kool-Aid. And if you didn't, you got a bullet in the head. There are some people who come into power and they realize they have control over other people's lives, or there are people who are just so weak in their will or haven't been taught how to become a leader in themselves that they're desperate for someone to follow, that they'll follow the wrong people who will use and abuse them. We see this all the time, not even just in religious organizations or certain type of cults, but we can even see this going on in everyday life in reference to dating and romance. I want a ball, a shot. I want all these niggas with all this money and stuff like that. And then they feel some type of way when they deal with the reality that comes with that money. how when they get that power, they get on and leave your ass for a white guy. I was playing. But they change and they switch up because the money is there. Because the power is there. Now, in reference to people saying that there's a demonic influence on you, I think once again, because you made this drastic step into this Republican arena and you started using some of the Republican jargon that is disrespectful, that is dismissive, that a lot of queer people hear a lot in their own lives, and even trans women experience in their own lives, whether it be online, whether it be in person, whether it be at the job, whether it be at church. So they hear that and they were just baffled because it's like, wait a minute, how can you sit up here and talk about there's a gay agenda and you're saying that you're gay? It kind of left, and even myself, kind of baffled. Like, what makes you exempt? What makes you the one that's not doing all this stuff when the Republican Party has not come out at large in any sort of love or support or compassion to queer people or to black people? Because again, if we look at the laws that are being put in place in reference to anti-LGBT, there are over 500 laws that have already been drafted. Let's not also forget about over in Uganda. I don't give a damn if it's another country, it's another continent over there. It ain't here in America. But guess what? Some motherfuckers from America went over to goddamn Uganda and helped implement that bill that is now demonizing queer people to imprisonment or far worse fates. And if we look in history, especially during the 60s and 70s, history is important. I'm not saying to live in the history, but to learn from the history so we ain't got to repeat it again. During the 60s and 70s, when there was black liberation, queer liberation, women liberation, anti-war, there was a push for all of that to happen. The real, true, genuine inclusion of humanity, manifesting what Christ really wanted, which was love and inclusion for all. And even while they were on the rise for that, when the 80s came in, girl, there was a response to all of that liberation. Because how dare you raise up against the powers that be that's been benefiting more so than the people who keep this country together? That you are not going to get away with this. You have to deal with some sort of reprimand. So what happened to the black community? The crack epidemic, where for those who were selling crack and using crack and doing crack, they went to jail for far longer than those who did cocaine. And cocaine was a white drug. Crack cocaine primarily was a black drug. During the 80s, the AIDS epidemic came the fuck out and ravished the fucking community, to where a lot of the people who were queer and alive and putting in the work were fucking taken out. And it wasn't some response from God. It was a man-made response to the queer experience. Women were forced back into the motherfucking kitchen and back into the house. Anti-queer shit came out for the gays who AIDS didn't fucking take out. Oh, well, now that you done saw all these people motherfucking die and it must be a response from God, well, now we are the anti-LGBT. We are the ex-gay people. If we don't do anything differently, we're going to be heading into the exact same place. And I don't know if there might, well, there's always redemption, but damn near, it's going to be damn near impossible, because at the end of the day, we are in the information age where people have the privilege to be educated now. I don't give a damn if it's an iPhone. I don't care if it's an Obama phone. You have the power right now to educate yourself about things. And we see that people don't. They rather just wait until somebody else does it. And we're living in the era where we can't simply do that anymore. We need to be able to do our own research and study to show ourselves approved. And then we go into spaces where everybody's talking about it so we can affirm and confirm or deny the things that we've came up with. So the thing is that the people who are willing to really do the work need to come together with other people in different groups that are doing the work and try to figure this shit out. And then after that, we go back to our quote unquote respected communities of people who are afraid to understand the other side and to genuinely, authentically tell them the exact same thing that we've learned collectively in that group. For the people who are coming together, who are self-actualized and are thinking. There needs to be some sort of human delegation that needs to happen. And that's why a lot of times when we did have our private conversations, Ron, I said to you, I feel like you could possibly be one of the people who literally helped transform the Republican Party into what you claim it to be. Because as much as you believe that the Republican Party is this, that's how you view it. We're talking about the objective perspective and the historical perspective and the present perspective that are going on. But see, even though you do identify as Republican and you do identify as Christian under the organized religion sense, there is still a spiritual aspect in you that is trying to look past all that. Like, yeah, this is my foundation. This is where I am right now. But I know that there's levels to this shit. So there's something in you that wants to know more, that wants to transcend the box of religion and the box of Republican and actually be objective. Because no shade, if the Republicans had all the answers to the problem, if the Democrats had all the answers to the problem, baby, it would be a full house of either Republicans or the ones who can get the job done for all. They will already be in Senate. They will already be in the House. They will already be the president. They will already be in place. If we had a group of people that was able to understand everybody, we would be in a better place, but we don't. This shit is deep. And I don't give a damn if I'm the only one that start these conversations and they don't go no damn where. They ain't gonna go nowhere right now. But there will be those who will come across these videos and expound even further than I can so that I can learn some shit. Let's continue.
And I'm selling my soul for money when, since day one, I've only been selling my soul to Jesus Christ. So, you know, duality. You have to understand your soul to Christ, girl. You gotta sell it. Right and then there's wrong. But it is not our responsibility, or it is not our responsibility to depend on the next person to tell us what is right and what is wrong, because what may be right and wrong to me may not be right and wrong to you. For example, I smoke marijuana.
Amen.
To a lot of people, that's normal. To a lot of people, that's not nothing. But to some people, it's normal. That is the devil's lettuce, which I don't get how, because
tell me, bitch,
it comes from the earth.
Hell, come on. Now, if it's one thing that I will stand in total solidarity with, and I'll be ready to motherfucking get in the field with any nigga that want to get in the field with Ryan when it come to weed, bitch, me and Ryan gonna be swinging, bitch. He gonna be swinging and hitting them niggas that are tall, and I'm gonna be taking out their damn kneecaps, okay? Ikarabo Shande, Ishkatai, Baba B.
Hallelujah! Risi Alamanda! Ribi, ha ha ha!
Okay, ha ha ha. All right. What did Will Smith say? Bitch, keep my wife's name out your mouth. When it come to marijuana, mother marijuana, that's the only woman that I love, and let her run up all through my nose, my throat, my lungs and shit, girl. I eat her edible stuff and let it go through all my body. If it's going to be one woman besides my mom that I love and respect, it's going to be damn mother marijuana. Okay, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Okay, shout out to Ron for the weed comment. Yes.
Nonetheless, there are a lot of people who will say, you know, smoking weed is the devil's lettuce. There are a lot of people who will say that alcohol is demonic. And I could even myself kind of say that. Like, you know, if we want to say marijuana is truly destructive to the human brain, to the human body, then what the fuck are we doing with legalized alcohol? I haven't heard of anybody overdosing on marijuana. I never overdosed on marijuana.
Okay,
But people
the
can
fuck.
definitely, you know, get very drunk and fuck up their kidneys and their livers. Drinking alcohol on a consistent basis. There are people who are having triple A meetings because they cannot control. I don't even understand how people can be alcoholic because alcohol is so disgusting. Do I like?
Okay, now let's say this again. It's about the intention and the will behind it. Like me, I love smoking weed, bitch. I already said I was smoking weed until I die. Oh, well, you might call that, you got a damn vice on you. Okay, well, you can call it what you want because you're going to do that anyway. I already told you what the shit was. Okay? But I don't smoke weed in reference to like I need it and I'm fiending for it. Do I really like it and really want it? Hell yeah. But there are times where I can go without weed, and I like those times where I can go without weed because it brings back the high, the real good high. You know what I'm saying? But I also use weed in a way to enhance my reality, enhance my experience. I see it as a sort of supplement to me. And that's just me. Other people can say what they want to say, bitch. Girl. Okay, let's play that game then. In the Bible, it says that there will always be, if a thorn is removed from your side, it will be replaced with another damn thorn because this is part of the human experience, baby. So if weed is the thorn, girl, this is a thorn I gladly take, bitch. Okay? But when it comes down to alcohol, sometimes with weed and alcohol, it can be used in ways to run away from a reality, to numb a reality that's overwhelming, or to feel something because they are so numb. So you have people who will drink to forget about the bad stuff. You have some people who drink, and when they get drunk, whatever state of mind they're in, it's like liquid courage. And they also say a drunk mind speaks a sober heart. So a lot of times people just, bitch, I don't give a fuck, bitch, fuck you, bitch. They would tell the truth. You get what I'm saying? And that can also fuck them up too. So using any of this stuff without any will and without knowing what your intentions are, you can fuck yourself up to the point to where you can harm your body and you can harm your kidneys. Especially if you drinking like all the damn time, just bitch, you wake up, drink, put a drink, and again, it's people have the right to do what they want to do. Because there are also some people who are aligned within themselves that they drink all the damn time and they live to be 100-some years old. And they swear that a goddamn 3 cups of Jack Daniels a day keeps all the sickness away. Like, it's just how amazing, or it's amazing how humanity can vary and has different variations. And it shows we will never completely understand nature. That's why our job is to honor our nature and to observe nature. That's it. All we gonna do is be able to learn. There are scientists right now who have the resources they didn't have 30, 40 years ago, to where they can go into the deepest, darkest depths of the sea, girl, and they find an all type of life that you wouldn't think would be in the dark. At this point, it's like, are y'all ready to go down the rabbit hole or no?
Like a drink? Do I like a Long Island? Do I like a top shelf Long Island? Yes, but that's socially, that's here and there on occasion. There are people who literally pick up a bottle first thing in the morning. They have a bottle first thing on their 15-minute break. As soon as they go to their car, they have another bottle of wine or whatever, as soon as they go to sleep. There are people who are having their own opinions, and you guys are taking it to heart, and you are not supposed to take it to heart. Just because I get on here on my platform and say, Republican is the way and Democrats are demonic, does not truly mean that I truly believe that every Democrat that I'm gonna come across is truly demonic.
But that's why you have to be accountable and aware of what you say, because the reality of the world today is not showing that. That's why we have this confusion right now, to where we don't know who to trust. Even though you have people who are willing to educate other people about their experiences to really help dilute the fear and help people challenge the fear who don't want to do it. I've done commentary on people who are afraid to have conversations for real with me because they know that if they have a conversation with me, I'm going to see past all the bullshit and we're going to get to the real shit. And they don't want to understand and honor the fact that even though it's in a covert micro way, it's still homophobia. It's still transphobia. It's still racism. And we can't be mad because we're going to have to find a way to deal with it. We got to find a way to deal with it. But we're not doing that. We're just generalizing other people. That's why even with my commentary, I say some. And the people that I talk about as far as their viewpoints, I at them. No shade. But you think that because you're saying this, that, oh, people shouldn't take it literal, when in their own literal lives, people have said the exact same things and something negative happened. So, of course, people are going to be triggered. And just like how you triggered them, they were able to trigger you, which brought forth the responses that you brought, the shit that you said to them. Because before you was calling trans women transformers, you was calling them something else. And that was because I had a conversation with you in reference to, like, if you're really trying to get across to trans people, this is not the way to go about it, pimping. I understand you new in this whole damn political debate type of arena, but if you really about to say that you about some shit and you want to know what's going on, and you in my presence, pimping, we gonna make sure we do that. And even when you came on my live and you came out the door swinging, I said, oh shit. And I let you live until like the middle of the damn live. I was like, okay. Because you're going to say something that's very telling. You're going to let us know that the person that you are, you said all those things on camera, but then off, and you meant it on camera as far as this illusion of where you stand. But then when you got offline and you started to look in retrospect, then all of a sudden the emotions that you don't show or that you say you've turned off start to come up to where you start to feel bad about what you said. So again, the fact that you were able to be honest about this in this live, I commend you on that. But now that you said, bruh, it's going to be up to you to continue to walk in what you say you're aware of now, because you made this public, pimping. And there are those who do watch. No shade. Because again, you're an influencer, right? You're a leader, right? So, I mean, watching a leader, that should come with the territory, correct? So if the leader is doing what the leader needs to do, you shouldn't worry about the eyes looking at them. If anything, you would want them to look at you. Because you're the one that's walking in alignment. And there will be those who will ask you, how did you get into that alignment? But anyway, let's continue.
What I'm saying is that, okay, you have people who will turn around and you have people who will turn around and try to play with you. You have people who will turn around and try to manipulate your mind. Mm-hmm. And that's only because you're a follower. You're not a leader. And you have to be a leader in this world. And
you're not a leader within yourself. We could even take this to romantic relationships and situationships. How a lot of us have given people who have shown us red flag after red flag after red flag, and we still show them grace and mercy. And then when we get hurt, all of a sudden, we feel some type of way about it. We played into that. And when we don't know who we are, or we don't stand 10 toes down in something that we believe that benefits us, anybody can come through and, yes, manipulate us. Yes, use us. Yes, lead us astray. But when you stand in your own on your own 2 feet, 10 toes down, you'll be able to understand and accept the things that these people bring that is beneficial. But all the other shit that's problematic and dramatic and doesn't serve you in the best way possible, you'll be able to say with confidence, "Nah, pimpin', that's not me. I don't do that, bruh." And even if they're doing it in a way to hurt somebody else, you'll be aware enough to even check them because you're so confident.
Being a leader, you may feel bad about some of the decisions that you have to make. You guys don't think I wasn't feeling bad when I was on the internet talking about, LGBT issues and transgenders and things like that. People do not think I wasn't feeling bad about all of that. I was. On the internet, maybe not, but behind closed doors I was. But I understood that Jesus had a bigger purpose for me, and that I didn't feel like in my heart and soul what I was doing was wrong.
That's a very interesting statement that you made. So how are people supposed to decipher? Well, I was the only one that was able to decipher, no shade, but how do you expect a lot of people to decipher that you're not being serious about this? There was a point in time where I even said, "Okay, bruh, Ryan, the way that you speaking, bruh, you gotta be trolling. You have got to be trolling, bro. Like, I just can't believe that you just came out of nowhere with this vitriolic response the way that you just out the door swinging as if though a trans woman done stole your man or something. Like, what's going on?" But the fact that you were able, what's going on, Jis? What's going on? But I like your profile picture with your little binky binky on, whatever that's called. But how are trans women supposed to know that what you said on YouTube you didn't really believe? Because you spoke with such conviction, even in your responses to what a lot of people, queer people, said to you. You didn't say, "Hey y'all, I'm just playing, like y'all taking it serious. I'm just being funny. My bad. I ain't know it hurt y'all like that. I'm sorry." You didn't do that. You came back even harder. And again, even when you came on my live, you came out, okay, for, "Hey, hi transformers, hi homosexuals." It's like, girl, what the fuck? I'm over here smoking up all my weed trying to make sure this shit go right. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I'm proud of you being honest, but it also kind of validates a lot of the things that I already knew and a few other people on my channel kind of already knew. So it's kind of like, I don't want to sit up here and say I told you so, but it's like, going forward, now that you've been open and honest in this way, and the most important thing that you really wanted from this situation, which was money, you finally got it, and now you're able to have this more relaxed, more kind of like low tone, objective type of demeanor when it comes to these conversations. Now it's just going to be interesting going forward, seeing how you apply this now that you finally got what you wanted. Because really, before, it was really the money. Like, everything else, the politics, all the other type of stuff, you really just want the life for you. You want to be able to attract the man that you desire in your life, and God bless him, because he's for you. And you want to be able to have a family. You want to be able to have the life that you want, but you still also want to support Republican, and you also want to support religion. And no shade, as long as you have resources as far as money is concerned, they have no problem honoring what you bring to them, even though they may not honor your actual experience. And you're okay with that. That's cool, but that's your life. We're talking about the lives of other people who also want to live, who also want to be, who also want to exist. And there are people in the world now who are getting into political power who are trying to stop people from simply existing. And the gag is, we've seen it historically, a lot of them who are against it are the ones who are against it because they see themselves. If only more Christians, if only more politicians, if only more queerphobic, homophobic people would just be as honest as Ron was in this live. If only. That'd be a perfect world, right? Let's continue.
People may have perceived it as wrong, but again, it's not. Duality. I'm the least dangerous person people could know because I understand that there is a devil just as much as I understand that there is a God. There are people who are out here, only worshiping Jesus, but they're not they're not acknowledging their sins, or they're not taking accountability of the wrongdoings that they do. Mm-hmm. Some people have it wrapped up in their brain that it's as simple as saying, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to say thank you, Jesus Christ, for all of my blessings, and then I'm going to turn around and spread hate. I'm going to sow animosity into this world, jealousy into this world. But because they're a Christian, it's okay. And that's what I'm telling people. Those are the dangerous people in this world. People are looking at me and thinking.
And no shade. A lot of those quote unquote dangerous people who think that way, who feel that their title of Christianity makes them exempt from life trials and tribulations, like God, like, okay, y'all cool, y'all in the VIP section, you ain't gotta worry about the shit. A lot of them are in both the Democrat and very much heavily in the Republican Party, even more so than the Democratic Party. Who feel that they're exempt, who say, oh, well, I'm a multi-millionaire and I have my family and my kids and stuff, and I'm doing what the Bible says, so I'm not going to be one of those people who have all that shit and then gag when it hit them. And gag when karma hits them, and gag when the reality of life hits them, that regardless, again, in the Bible, it reads that God is not a respecter of person. Even Jesus had to die. Even Jesus had to lay down his life, had to lay it down. Oh, lay it down. So if Christ, the Son of God, God manifested in flesh through the conduit of Jesus, if he had to die and be persecuted by those who he saved, or those that he could not save in reference to humanity, he even died for them and said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Are a lot of Christians really ready to do that? Are they really ready to accept the responsibility that comes with love? That we live in a world that is afraid of love to the point to where it will do whatever it can to snuff out its light. And even if it was to snuff out the light, the lingering scent of the burning candle that showed that love was there will always remain in their nostrils. Which means that they will be haunted forever about the possibility of what could have been. Yeah, it is more than just waking up saying, God, thank you for my blessings. And then you actively go out into the world and spread hate and spread misinformation, which continues to fuel the fires of hate. And then when the people who are doing the hate spreading are challenged, they now use the Bible as a shield. And now all of a sudden they speak about their emotions and how they feel. And now I'm being discriminated. It doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good when you get a taste of your own medicine, but because you're Christian, I can do this because, like you said, I'm exempt. So I would like for Ron to also call out the other Christians who are doing this, like Candace Owens, who's spreading fear in reference to queer people and black people, to Brandon Tatum, another black man who also believes in queerphobia and racism. This is a time to not just talk about it, and this is just, I'm glad it's a revelation, but what does that revelation look like manifested in the flesh? I'm just asking.
Thinking that I'm dangerous. I'm not dangerous. I'm the least dangerous person. You know, it takes someone who can have accountability and can tell you who about themselves and can tell you, you know, these are my faults. Or what do they say on a political note? I would respect somebody who is racist before I respect somebody who is Democrat, because Democrats are undercover racists, in my opinion. And I'm not here to debate my opinion. My opinion is my opinion. This is what I factually have seen, and this is what I'm going to ultimately sum up. If you're a Democrat at large, I may view you as racist, though I feel like every Democrat is racist. No, because if we're talking about liberals and Democrats who are really trying to make a change in this world and be social activists, you know, create equal pay for everyone, or they're acknowledging true civil corruption. You know, those kind of liberals are cool. The people who are saying, you know, let's clean up this earth, those Democrats are cool. The people who are saying, you know, maybe we all should have this one particular opportunity and not have 3 million Mexicans flooding through the border. I hope that doesn't sound racist, but nonetheless, all I'm saying is those Democrats I'm cool with, but these Democrats who are telling y'all that y'all need fucking food stamps and that y'all don't need to get off y'all ass and work, these Democrats who are telling y'all that y'all are oppressed, these Democrats who are telling y'all that there's a economic crisis. Let me tell you something about economic crisis. Bitches who work, people who work more than 40 fucking hours a week do not know what an economic crisis is.
Hold on, pimpin'. Hold on, because I don't even think you work a 9 to 5. Okay? I don't even think you work a 9 to 5. I don't think you even punch a clock. I have people that I know personally that have been applying for job after job after job after job after job after job, even to applying to places multiple times, didn't even know it. I have friends who want to work in a corporation, who want to manifest a job that pays good, who goes through what they need to go through to educate themselves, to put themselves in those spaces. And it seems like every time they get closer, it seems like the goal is pushed even farther from them. Let's look at the people who I think are UAW. Those are individuals who go to work, who realize that, hey, we have a family to provide for. There are a lot of people who understand the responsibility of family and stuff. But to say that there's no economic crisis going on, it is if you have children. It is if you have major bills and responsibilities that you have to take care of. It is when you have a family of 5 and you're trying to get enough food for everybody, and you can buy $100 worth of food and it don't really feed everybody for a whole week. Like, it's not happening to you, because you're going to let us know and you're going to give us a little praise break, which, no shade, that's your reality. Your reality is different than a lot of other people. That's fact. You got you a brand new $100,000 vehicle, and you say you the only one in that town that drives it. I wouldn't have said that, because now there's people out there that want to be on your ass now in a very negative way. You done gave them one of the clues. Oh, this nigga drives the only one, so if we see the only one, we know it's wrong. We can motherfucking trick his ass. You get what I'm saying? The people at the UAW are putting in the work, but they're not being paid in a livable wage. You have people now that have to work 2-3 jobs, who also want to live, girl. They didn't sign up to work 2-3 jobs as a part of what they really, really want to do. It's something that they unfortunately have to do. So it's not an economic crisis to you and a lot of people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. Of course not. You're single, you have no kids. You can pretty much do whatever you want. And we thank God for that. There are some people who have that level of that. But to sit up here and say that objectively, like, oh, it's not happening, that's where some of the ignorance comes from. Because you're only looking at it from your perspective and not the perspective of other people who are actually living the reality that you no longer have to live.
We have a free will.
And I forgot, during that time I accidentally paused it. I was like, what the hell happened? Because I had the screen recorder, girl. I can't download lives off YouTube. So I have to actually screen record it. And I ain't doing that for everybody, because this was 30 minutes, so I was able to screen record it. And this shit over an hour, I'm going to have to nigga rig it and grab my microphone and put it up to the speaker. Okay? That's what I'm going to have to do. Okay, is we going to press play, girl? What's going on? Hold on.
Day, you clocking out during the day. In the afternoon, you're going to go clock into this gas station job. You may not want to do it, but guess what? You're going to have less money problems. You're going to have less of a financial crisis going on, and you're going to, start to appreciate the hard work that you put into your life, because you get what you get.
There are people that put in a lot of hard work and don't get what they deserve. There are a lot of people who are overworked and underpaid. I know what it's like to work for businesses and you actually put in the work to be a quality employee. And that's one thing about BubzDaGawd, baby. Whatever I put my mind to, I accomplish. The last job that I had, the last 9 to 5, because I'm not going back to that, baby. I'm manifesting my own financial freedom with my gifts and my talents. Okay? There are plenty of other people before me who have went down the same path and got more than what their heart could ever desire. I'm on that path. But when I did work, I worked at a suit store. I was one of, if not the best employee there. My job was to work in the suit department. I'm so motherfucking bomb. I'm in the suit department, the shoe department, the junior kids department, the sportswear department, the shirt department, the sports coats department. I'm a motherfucking cashier. I'm goddamn security. I'm the goddamn electrician. I'm the goddamn cleaning person. I'm the damn person who takes care of the parking lot and shit. I'm all of these things that are not part of my job description, but I do them and I do them well. It took me a long time to realize that the company I was working for, not the people I worked with, but the big wigs were trying to suck the life out of everybody. And they weren't finna do that to me. A lot of people are now dealing with economic slavery. To where, again, people are working 40 plus hours and it's not enough. Inflation is whooping everybody's ass. You have people who are middle class who are damn near working poor. So yes, for you ain't got to clock into a Sunoco gas station. Thank God for that. You ain't got to clock in at Walmart, at Piggly Wiggly. Thank God for that. You ain't got to clock in at McDonald's, at Wendy's, at Burger King, at Sonic. You ain't got to clock in at nobody else's job. You found a way to tap into financial freedom that works for you. You had an opportunity to receive it, and we thank God for that. We really do. But now that you have those resources, why don't you come up with courses or come up with some sort of educational package system that people could pay for so that they can also learn to tap into the financial freedom that you now have? Are we going to get a Ron Jesus Christ millionaire status making package kit? Who knows? If you have information that can enhance people's lives, share it with them. That strengthens your testimony. But until you do that, there are a lot of people who have to make do with what the fuck they have, and they want better. But sometimes they can't even get to better because the circumstances around them don't give them the opportunity to, or they simply just don't know. Or they do, and they apply it to their lives, And there are other people who have more power than them that are so jealous and so jaded that this person is choosing to rise, even though those people are the ones who are at the bottom of the barrel who will gatekeep. All this shit is real. I don't think oppressed people making this shit up as some sort of sick, twisted fantasy. I know I'm not.
Hold on, my door is open. Hold on.
Jesus came into the room.
But yeah, them Democrats who are feeding this bullshit to y'all that liberation is the key to life, and you don't need Jesus Christ, and all you need is to just be sexually liberated. Everyone has to know who you're fucking. Everyone needs to know if you lick a pancake or if you suck a microphone. Them kind of liberals, demonic. So, wow. and ultimately, you know, I want to go back on something.
So you just spoke about morality, and then just showed how you have more morality than these people.
About how you guys don't believe that when I came out Republican, that a lot of people didn't think that I was demonic. You guys don't believe that I didn't feel sad around that time of coming out Republican. All of these people, I'm surrounded by Democrats and liberals. All of these people are sitting here telling me I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. But my beliefs are my beliefs, and I can't not believe in what I believe in and try to alter my state of mind to fit in and conform to people who don't give a damn about me.
And you just said it perfectly. That's the exact same way a lot of trans people and queer people feel about organized religion, and a lot of Christians who don't care about them, who try to force them into a box so that the Christians can feel comfortable around them. Because the commentary that came out of your mouth in reference to trans people before this particular live was that you wouldn't even honor trans people's experiences, their existence. You wouldn't even hire them if they were coming in looking for a job, not sitting on their ass trying to collect food stamps and be a welfare queen, but actually be a working queen. And now they don't even have the possibility to be a working queen because your religious freedom and your opinion that's supposed to be an opinion has now become law, to where you can tell this trans person, I'm not going to hire you, simply on the grounds of them being trans. So again, what's happening is that you came out with this perspective and you started speaking about people that you really have not sat down to really understand. And I don't know if it's because you were in a place where you wanted, because I think you said in the beginning of your whole journey that what really sparked this is that you had a conversation with queer people, and a trans woman asked you, would you ever date a trans woman or something like that? And you said no. Something about dating I'm trying to figure out what it said in particular. Oh, a trans woman. You said no, because if I want to date a woman, I would just be with a cisgender woman or something like that. And then they kind of went off on you, and I don't know if that kind of stimulated that, but it's like the way you came out of it. It'd be like me being BubzDaGawd, and then I come back and I'm TS BubzDaGawd. People are going to want to know, girl, what the fuck happened in order for this shit, this radical transformation and shift? So you came out and shared your perspective without giving us context and nuance like you are now in your most recent live. You had those people who were your supporters who came and supported you because you was queer. Now you turned around and said all this. What's going on? And then the following commentary, the way that you spoke about it, was in your own perspective, which that's okay to share your own perspective. But we're asking you to think outside of your perspective too, because regardless of what you believe or what you want to believe, racism and queerphobia unfortunately exists. I wish it didn't, but it exists, and we have to call it out because those people's lives are being affected, and the people's lives that's being affected are the ones that, like you just said, y'all don't really care about. And even with the whole trans situation with kids and the youth and chopping things off and putting hormones in the body, the reason why there's some sort of, oh, we care about trans people is because it involves their kids. So there has to be, they care about their kids. They don't care about the grown trans people. They don't even care about trans relatives in their family. But because it's their kid, their flesh and blood, saying that they're trans now, all of a sudden, it's a lot. That's why love is important, and that's why emotional awareness, okay, and emotional control is very important. It can't just be, oh, I want to be just mental and turn my emotions off, because you did that when you were speaking to queer people and black people on your platform, just for you behind the scenes to finally access and honor your emotions, and you feel bad. So now there has to be a blending, or I would suggest a blending of mental and emotional. And when you do that, that's when you really tap into duality, and that's when you really tap into the gray area. Just my opinion.
I can't do that. So, yeah. In that time, people really thought that I was really demonic and that I was really off my fucking rocker. People really thought that I lost my goddamn mind. But what I had to know every time I click upload and then I got off the internet, what I had to tell myself in my own time was that I'm a good person. I know that what I'm doing is for the greater good of America. It's for my children's children. It's for my neighbor's children. It's for the world. Because as a leader, I have the power to help shape the world into how I see it fit. Of course, with my allegiance with Jesus Christ, of course. But all I'm saying is I'm not gonna lay down in submission and have people who don't know how to think for themselves try to advocate for me. No, I don't need no fucking food stamps. I don't need everyone to fucking know that I like men. I don't need everyone to know that I am black. Bitch, you can see that when you see my skin. What are you talking about? So, duality. There are going to be things that you have to do if you want to be a leader. There are going to be things that you have to do that people are not going to agree with. People are going to think that you are crazy. People are going to think that you're wrong. People may think, depending on what you're trying to do, that you're the lowest of low in life, you know? And you have to understand and believe in yourself to know that you are who you are. And as long as you know who you are, and you know in your soul that you haven't hurt anybody, then the duality, the spiritual duality of God, will do nothing but further resonate in your soul. Because no one can tell you, no one can really say in this world what is right and what is wrong, and no one can sit here and put me down over my beliefs and what I believe in, especially when everyone else gets to believe in what the fuck they believe in, and they still don't have shit that they want. These people out here with their own opinions. These people out here with they say they're not clout chasing. They say they're not, people who are trendsetters are really just glorified followers. These kind of people, who say that they're followers, they're not really followers. I mean, leaders, they're not really leaders. They're followers. True followers go against the grain. True followers get kickback on the beliefs that they have, because it's gonna piss people off. I'm a leader because I'm not surrounded by people who are going to cuddle me and tell me, I don't know. I'm a leader because I pray to Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ gave me
I know
strength.
that's right. He
why I'm a
said,
leader.
girl, let me go to Christian route, girl. Fuck you hoes, bitch. I'm a leader because Jesus said I'm a leader.
Let's go back to being original. So yeah,
I'm screaming.
and I feel like for people to understand what my message is, as far as like me being Republican and things like that, I think people would just have to really get to know more of my mindset and understand what I'm saying. So let's see. Wow, you look great. Have a blessed day. Thank you. What's up, everyone? Chulo Kwan. To play devil advocate, although it comes from the earth, some of this stuff is not good for you. Okay, well, I'll give you that. Only learned that out. Amen to that. So yes, nonetheless, understand that there is something called duality, and more leaders than followers understand this concept. More people who lead the pack. Understand that there's a good and evil of this world, and that you have to play the game. And that's all it is. I'm playing the game. And y'all can sit here and watch and sit here and think I sold my soul. Like I said, at no point in my time of being Republican or anything like that did I ever feel like I was doing injustices. I mean, I look outside my window to my car. I have $100,000 car. I drive the only M5. All praises to Jesus Christ, of course. But yes, you know, I drive $100,000 car. I have one real gold. This ain't no shit out no mall. It can be a mall because there are jewelry stores.
But at the same time, you say you feel like you haven't hurt people, but when you got off of live, you felt hurt about what you said to these people and how they took it. And I think when people start using their tangible gifts and blessings as kind of like, oh, I'm on the right path, I'm on the right track. Like, even though I hurt your feelings, I'm driving in this car. It's kind of like you can think that way and that's okay. But that's a very dangerous way of thinking. Because what that does, it gives the illusion that, oh, again, I don't, girl, I don't have to be reprimanded, girl. I'm driving $100,000 car, bitch. You broke. But according to societal standards, wasn't Jesus broke? Jesus wasn't walking around with silver and gold. He used his spiritual gifts to feed hundreds of people with I don't know how, I forgot the actual name of the or number of the food, girl, but I think with 3 fish and 5 loaves of bread, he was able to feed hundreds or thousands, was he not? Like, we thank God about the we're look. I know it makes you happy. It makes you happy. That's cool. But to kind of use that as a way to kind of like be, oh well, you really can't say shit to me because I have this. It's kind of like, yeah, and we see how you were reacting and how you were speaking and how you were talking to people when you didn't have it. Let's not forget that either.
Side of them all. But all I'm saying is because I believed in what I believe in one person's brain, me being Republican, for example, is the absolute worst thing ever. But do you think Jesus Christ is going to knock me down because one person thinks that what I'm doing is horrible? No. No, because on my end, I feel like I'm giving a message. Get your fucking ass up and work. Believe in yourself. Believe in Jesus. And even if God isn't real, I'm even here to ponder with the idea that let's just say Jesus Christ isn't real, because I'm so realistic. People love to say that I'm not.
Now hold on, now you can't be saying that you believe in God, but then you also realistic, and you can believe that God doesn't exist. So which one is it? According to the scripture, it said you can't be lukewarm, right? You have to choose, right? So according to that narrative and that perspective, it's interesting that you say that. So, but let's listen. You said if there wasn't a God, right, and you're willing to be realistic or hypothetical, you should have said hypothetically speaking. Let's say there's not a God, because Jesus blessed you. You know that He blessed you with a real gold chain. He blessed you with $100,000 car. He blessed you, girl. You know this to be true. So you should have said hypothetical, but let's continue.
Nuanced or anything. I'm so nuanced. I'm so open-minded.
Oh, wow.
Let's say Jesus Christ isn't real.
You said,
here's the kicker to that. I made the best decisions I could have ever made believing in Jesus Christ. I made the most purest intentions I could have sown into this world over the past 2 to 3 years. When I remember sitting in my fucking car, driving, saying, Jesus Christ, I don't know where else to whoever, universe. I remember this. I said, universe, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. I don't know who the hell I'm supposed to talk to at this point. People saying that it's fucking star seeds in the moon. People saying it's people underground shitting at altar. At this point, I don't know what the fuck to believe. I don't know who I'm praying to. I don't know who I'm talking to. Nothing else is working. This universe shit ain't working. This zodiac shit ain't working. Also, big Libra vibes. Happy birthday to all the Libras. My birthday was September 24th, so I'm kind of right there on that Libra Virgo cusp. And then again, there are Christians who are gonna say, "Oh, you into that zodiac shit, demonic." I don't believe in that zodiac shit. I think it's just something cool and interesting to play with, but I truly don't believe. I don't give.
What? See, this is Christianity right here, girl. I don't believe in that shit, but I dibble and dabble in it a little bit. But I don't dibble and dabble in it for real, though. Like, yeah, I'm gay and shit, but I don't be fucking everybody, though. You know, I just fuck one person or a few people. That's all. I don't do a whole bunch of shit. Or even though weed bad for your body with the smoking, and everything, I mean, I still smoke it though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's from the earth. You know, and the Bible said that every plant yielding seed, girl, we can use, and that's one of them. It's, but see, I think if we were able to just objectively say, okay, this just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I'm taking the things that work for me and I'm leaving the rest alone. It's your job to figure out what works for you. Now, if you come to me and you ask me my perspective about a situation and you want my advice about a situation, then that's different. Then I can share what has worked with me. But we live in a world now, especially with Christianity, that they will force that. They're saying that queer people are forcing, baby. Queer people could never, ever have the power of influence and forcefulness that Christianity, organized religion, has. We can't even hold a candle to it. But again, I just wish that a lot of Christian people were as honest as Wrongful God. To see if we can get some Christians that smoke weed and they okay with that. Christians who cuss and they okay with that. Christians who can really tap into humanity and be okay with that. I'd rather fuck with them than fuck with the ones who are fake. The ones who act like they got it all together and that they got the main number, not even the main number, but the main number to God and Jesus. And I just went to lunch with them yesterday. Those individuals, I want to talk to the individuals who are open-minded. And no shade, we do have a part 2 conversation that's supposed to be happening because you said you wanted a part 2. And on your platform. But I think that now that you done got the money and you done got your brand new car, praise the Lord, and you buying ounces and pounds of weed, now praise the Lord on that, because I'm trying to get on that level, girl. Pounds, ounces, hell yeah. But now that you have all that, I feel like the conversation a second time around publicly, I feel like it would be beneficial. Not just for both of our channels, and to showcase our thought processes and the way that we view things, but to also let other people know that you can meet people on the other side and find a common ground of respect. That should be the most important thing. It don't have to always be warfare. It doesn't always have to be fear. That there can also be some awareness too. There can also be some sort of reconciliation too. There can also be some sort of dynamic, fruitful, and life-giving revelation as well. And we almost done, y'all. We got a few more minutes.
No reverence to, oh, I think like this because I'm a Libra. I think that is just something, you know, I have to play with to get people, to get my peers to like me. So what I'm doing is catfishing for Jesus. I'm using my looks and, you know, who I am as a person to bait people into, you know, selling their soul to Jesus Christ and then voting Republican. Boom! Y'all want the truth? There it goes. I'm a catfish and I'm here to recruit and use my looks. But in this world, people are used to people like me doing that for Satan. No. Somebody has to be the good guy. It's just like Beyonce said.
I don't think Christ needs you to use your looks to reach someone's soul salvation. I think if anything, it should be the energy inside of you that wants them to tap into that emotion, because now you, all right, let me tell you something. And this is what I heard. And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be honest. I want to experience this shit one day. No shade. But a lot of people in the church are some really freaky deaky motherfuckers. They more freaky than me. They made the shit I think about be very vanilla. I don't think it would be smart using your looks to bring people into Christ, because those people not gonna be thinking about Christ. They gonna be thinking about calling Christ when they all up in your guts, Ron. I don't think they're gonna be thinking about Christ because you using your looks to bring them into that. What type of Holy Ghost seduction is this? And on top of that, if you're operating in the spirit of Christ, people will look past your physicality and be able to see your heart. Because if anything, you're just going to attract horny people in the name of Jesus. That's simply it. It's a bunch of gay Christians. And I ain't going to hold you. I do want to fuck somebody from the Kojic church. It's a nice, slim, thick, tight booty bottom, wearing tight ass motherfucking suits and shit, and they booty poking out the back of they damn suit jacket, that keep looking at me. And baby, we can do whatever. What we do outside the church ain't got nothing to do with the church people. I want to try that, no shade, because I'm not in the church. So I do want to try it one time. Lord, send me a girl. Send me a nigga who sing backgrounds for the Clark sisters, girl, because I know that throat is good, Jesus. Amen. But I don't think it would be wise to use your, but and that's your goal, and that's what you're going to do. And maybe you call for this. I don't know. Just like there are a lot of Christian women who be like, oh, you know, fuck me in my ass, because if you fuck me in my vagina, you know, we'll still be virgins. It's just that one time at band camp, it'll be a lot of that. But it's very interesting. You're going to use your looks to recruit people for Christ. I mean, if people can twerk for Christ, I guess this can happen too. I don't know.
In that part two on the run song, what about the bad guy goes good? You know, what about when the bad guy goes good? You know, and I can say that maybe I was once a bad person because I used to have really demonic thoughts. Y'all do not know my life to really know. I mean, people who really have watched my channel know what my life is about.
I have.
As far as like the traumatic things, but many of you will not know all of the traumatic shit I've been through, from basically being on my own all of my life, because my Filipino side of my family is halfway across the world. My black ass side of my family is 4 hours away in Louisiana, and I don't know any of my aunts. I never met any of my aunts, uncles, cousins, any of that. So I often say to myself, you know, it's crazy I can be anywhere that's like heavily trafficked with tourism, walk past an aunt, uncle, cousin, and not even know like that's my family member. I have a lot of shit that I used to be very angry about, and that anger had me develop a lot of demonic thoughts. But one thing that I always understood was that they were demonic thoughts. I always understood that the thoughts that I think that I was thinking are bad. I shouldn't be thinking them. But now, if I think bad thoughts, think demonic thoughts, I don't beat myself up about it, because I'm human. I'm not perfect. Jesus died on the cross for not only my sins, your sins, that whoever is watching this, the sins of every single person on this planet. You know, you can't. I'm not gonna beat myself up over not being perfect. Simple as that.
So with that being said, and that's the end of the video, y'all. With that being said, if you're not going to beat yourself up for not being perfect, we need to help encourage other people not to beat themselves up for not being perfect either. That's why, again, being able to be honest about your past experiences and what you've been through, and then share how you got out of that, will be a lot better than just repeating a lot of rhetoric from a political party, which is something that you were doing beforehand. So I feel like if you continue to go down this route, as far as being open and really actually tapping into duality and talking about how you are an individual who calls himself a Christian, who follows Christ, but also accepts their human side and documents that as well, I feel like you'll be able to reach more people. Because with Christianity, there is this unhealthy, unrealistic expectation of what connection to God looks like, that even the people who preach it can't even live up to. And that even Christ didn't even live up to. Because Christ was a very emotional person, as much as we're being told that men cut their emotions off. It was because he was in tune with his emotions that he was able to help manifest miracles and supernatural stuff into the lives of those individuals who were open to receive it. But again, Ryan, one thing I'm going to always do on this platform, and it's not just to you, this for other people too. When people start operating in duality for real and start speaking their truth and really say what's going on and stop being politically correct and just speak from their heart, then we can start having real genuine conversations that benefit everybody else. Because all of us, because we've been hurt, been used and abused, we're always on the defense. We have to learn to question where their defensiveness is coming from, if it's warranted or not. And if it's not warranted, what is it inside of me that saw that as a moment to retaliate or to be defensive? No. If I had my way, I would say, bitch, to all the people, roll you up a real nice fat one. I smoke raw cones and papers. I don't really do blunt wraps. It's shit too harsh. Roll some shit up. If you can't smoke the shit, get you a motherfucking edible or something. Get you a little 10 milligram gummy or something. And we'll wait 45 minutes to an hour for that bitch to kick in so that we are all high. Let's sit down and have a conversation for real. I guarantee you so much shit will probably come from that situation that would be beneficial. But before we can get to the gray area, you have to work out the black and white in your own life and create the gray. Until you create the gray internally, you will never be able to see it externally. And we really are one in reference to humanity. We have to remember that aspect, that we're all human. A lot of Christians need a humanity check. The Christian organized religion system definitely needs a reality check, because when it's time for them to be accountable, all of a sudden, don't trip, God ain't through with me yet. But he was through with the queer people that you talked about. He was through with the trans woman that you were talking about. He was through with the queer people when he allowed that man to go inside Post nightclub and shoot it the fuck up. That was the will of God. Even to some of the older individuals, when the 80s came through and AIDS came through, that was the will of God. Well, it looked like we about to all find out what the will of God is. And guess what? If we're going to play this game, girl, a lot of us ain't going to be in it. So we have a choice here. We can continue to operate in organized religion as it's been for centuries, which basically organized religion and the church right now is God's coffin. It's where God was. Only the residue of God is there, and there's more to life than just the residue. Or to the question or the expression that Ron posed, which I do agree with, we can actually tap into the duality of the complete human experience. You know, we're not too heavenly minded, that we're no earthly good, and vice versa. And actually establish the gray area. And that's my goal. I want to have the gray area conversations. And I believe it's possible. So anyway, thank y'all for listening to this live. Again, shout out to Ron Fugata for this very honest live. He said he's going to be going live more, so hopefully he'll plan his lives ahead of time so that I can show up in the live. It would be dope to have a conversation with him again. We were supposed to be having a part 2, but I'm waiting on him. I already did part 1, bro. Part 2, the ball is in your court. But I would like to further this conversation with him. I would like to involve other people into the conversation. And I feel like we can establish community. And I'm just doing my part to work through my own shit and my own triggers so that I can connect with the other side, because we are human. And you never know who you're entertaining. You don't know what angel in disguise that you're entertaining who shows up on the opposite side. Is your spiritual intuition on point? And that's something that I'm even learning. I'm not perfect either, and I never will be. I'm simply just trying to figure out what the best version of BubzDaGawd looks like. But how can I do that in a way that not only serves me, but serves humanity? Because the gifts and the talents and the things that I desire in my life are going to come to me by proxy of blessing other people. So again, shout out to Ryan for that video. Shout out to Jerson Rodriguez for being in the building. Shout out to Queen Amber. Please make sure that y'all like this video. Okay, please, 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 because it helps this channel to grow in the algorithms. We are growing up in subscribers. Hopefully we can reach 800 pretty soon, which would be pretty fucking dope. Okay. If you like the vibe over here on BubzDaGawd, please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and click all so that you are up to date with all of my uploads and my lives. I go live at sporadic times whenever the spirit hits me. So if you want to follow the BubzDaGawd, excuse me, Lord, that sparkling water make I be burping. If you want to follow the BubzDaGawd flow, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you feel compelled to bless somebody monetarily, girl, you know, I want to drive around a $100,000 car like Ron too, bitch. So if you want to help me do that, make sure you hit that Cash App, which is $BubzDaGawd, okay? Anything you send is greatly appreciated, okay? I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. And until next time, everybody, peace.
Love never dies, just choose to be born again.
Hallelujah, Risi Alamanda, Ribi, ha ha ha.